Glimmers through the bedroom window. Have you ever woken in the dead of night, moonlight spilling across your quilt like a secret invitation, and felt that quiet tug deep in your belly, the one whispering there's more to you than the roles you've worn like well-loved aprons? The house creaks softly around you, maybe in that split-level ranch in suburban Atlanta, where fireflies still dance in the yard come June, and you lie there, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin, wondering if the stars outside hold answers to the ache you've carried since turning 40. Oh, honey, I know that pull all too well. I was 37, tucked into our old Victorian in upstate New York, the kind with gingerbread trim that sagged a bit after that harsh winter storm, when the light first found its way in, not some dramatic flash, but a gentle seep through lace curtains I'd sewn myself during those long evenings after the kids' bedtime stories. Life back then, in the swing of American motherhood with its soccer sidelines and PTA bake sales under fluorescent gym lights, had me running on fumes, my heart a tangled knot from a marriage that frayed like the hems of my favorite jeans after too many washes. We'd gather at neighborhood block parties, potato salad sweating in the July heat, women in sundresses swapping tales of triumphs and near misses, but inside, I felt adrift, like a leaf caught in the Hudson River's current, unsure where the flow would take me. That night, though, with the clock ticking past 2, I slipped from the sheets, bare feet padding to the window, palms pressed to the cool pane. No grand ritual, just me, breathing in the crisp Adirondack air that snuck through the screen, out with the sigh that carried the weight of unspoken dreams deferred for carpools and casseroles. It was as if the moonlight wrapped around me then, soft as my grandma's quilt from those Appalachian quilting bees she'd tell stories of, piecing scraps of hardship into something warm and whole. I see you there now, perhaps in your cozy condo overlooking the Pacific in San Diego, waves crashing distant like a lullaby, or huddled in a Chicago walk-up, the L trains rumble a reminder of the city's relentless pulse. Wherever you are, sister, let that glimmer find you tonight. Feel it settle in your chest, that subtle warmth, easing the tightness from boardroom battles where your voice got lost in the shuffle, or the quiet grief of holidays without the one who used to hang the lights. I remember the first Christmas after he left, stringing bulbs alone on our sagging pine, tears mixing with the tinsel, but oh, that breath, the simple draw of night air, release of held-back sobs, began to untangle me. It whispered of a light within, not borrowed from anyone's gaze, but mine, earned through the fog of fertility struggles hushed at bridal showers, or the career pivot that left me starting over at a community college night class, notebooks filled with sketches of herbal gardens. I'd plant someday. What glimmers for you in this hush? That spark to finally host a women's circle in your backyard under string lights, sharing wine and wisdom like those book club nights at the local indie shop? Or the nudge toward a solo trip to the Grand Canyon, standing at the rim as dawn paints the layers of your own layered life? Lean into it now, easy as moonlight on water, and watch how it softens the edges of doubt, turning what if into what now. I did, year after year, rising from those window vigils to volunteer at the food pantry, hands passing cans of soup that fed more than bodies, our chats over sorting bins mending the isolation I'd felt at office holiday parties. Forgiveness slipped in quiet like then, forgiving the parts of me that dimmed for approval, the ex who couldn't see my light, myself for the years I mistook busyness for belonging. As the night deepens, feel that glimmer grow, a steady glow in your core, promising you're held even in the dark. It's not about chasing highs, it's this gentle arrival, light meeting light. In our wide American nights, from desert stars in Arizona to city glows in Manhattan, we women gather these glimmers, stringing them like pearls across our stories. So, as you drift back to sleep or greet the coming day, hold it close, that whisper saying, You're lit from within, darling. Shine on. What's one glimmer catching your eye tonight? Share it below. Your light might just illuminate mine. Hit subscribe on the Heart's Whisper. Turn on those notifications. We're in this glow together, one moonlit breath at a time. Because under these shared skies, peace isn't found. It's remembered, soft and eternal. Currents of the soul's silent river. Imagine slipping into a bubble bath after a day that stretched you thin, the steam rising like secrets from the water in your clawfoot tub, and suddenly that inner current stirs, the one that flows beneath the surface rush of emails and errands, pulling you toward a deeper knowing. The bathroom doors ajar, letting in the faint hum of crickets from your screened porch in rural Tennessee. And you're 51, scented candles flickering shadows on the tile, wondering if this is what surrender feels like. Lord, I felt it first at 44. Soaking in our tiny apartment's tub in Portland's Pearl District, rain drumming the roof like an old jazz tune after a layoff that washed away the security I'd built like sandcastles at Cannon Beach. Those Pacific Northwest downpours mirrored my unraveling. Career as a graphic designer traded for freelance gigs that paid the rent but starved the soul. Motherhood's joys tangled with the ache of a teen's first heartbreak, echoing my own from high school proms under balloon arches. We'd huddle at farmers' markets, baskets brimming with heirloom tomatoes and artisan bread, women trading recipes for resilience amid the drizzle, but inside, I was adrift on that silent river, currents tugging at regrets from a wedding that promised forever, but delivered fragments. That evening, bubbles popping soft around me, I let my head tip back, eyes drifting shut, and just allowed the water's warmth to carry me. Inhale the lavender from the salts I'd splurged on at that boutique in the Alberta Arts District. Exhale the tension coiled from years of people-pleasing at corporate retreats with their forced team-building ropes courses. It was as if the river inside awakened then, flowing not in floods, but in steady ripples, washing clean the silt of not enoughs from performance reviews and parent-teacher whispers. Friend, if you're tuning in from your high-rise in Miami, ocean breeze sneaking through balcony sliders, or a farmhouse in the Dakotas, wind whispering through wheat fields, let that current find you now. Feel it move through your limbs, gentle as the Mississippi's bend on a girl's getaway paddleboard trip, carrying away the debris of her family feuds simmered at Thanksgiving tables laden with cornbread and cranberry relish. I paddled one myself, post-divorce, waves lapping my board like forgiving hands, the group of us, widows, empty nesters, career shifters, sharing laughs that bridged our separate streams into one wide flow. That current brought dreams bubbling up, unbidden, launching a podcast on women's untold stories, voices from quilting circles in the Smokies to startup pitches in Silicon Valley. My first episode recorded in that very tub, mic balanced on the edge, vulnerability pouring out like soapy water down the drain. What's stirring your river tonight? The urge to reclaim that painting hobby, shelved since art school days? Canvases blooming with colors of your immigrant roots, celebrated at cultural festivals in Dearborn? Or stepping into mediation training to soothe community divides at town hall meetings? Breathe into it, deep, unhurried, and sense how the flow aligns, turning eddies of doubt into smooth glides toward purpose. I forgave in those soaks the boss who undervalued my sketches, the mirror that once judged my post-baby curves harshly at swimsuit try-ons, myself for drifting when I longed to steer. As the water cools, feel the current strengthen, a luminous thread connecting your depths to something vast, peaceful as fireflies over summer ponds. It's your soul's river, honey, ever flowing, ever home. In this land of winding waterways, from Everglades whispers to Yukon rapids, we women navigate these currents, linking arms across divides, So, sink into yours whenever the world pulls too hard. One current calling you forward. Let it ripple in the comments. Together, we deepen the flow. Like and subscribe to the Heart's Whisper. Let's ride these waters side by side, because in every ripple, grace currents through, whispering, "You're the river. Love, flow free." Echoes of light in the orchard's shade. Ever wandered an autumn orchard, basket swinging from your arm, the air thick with the scent of ripe apples falling soft to earth, and heard that echo in your chest, the light within, calling back to you, patient as the harvest moon rising over rows of gnarled trees, leaves crunch under your boots in that upstate Connecticut picking ground, and you're 48, cheeks flushed from the climb, pondering if this sweetness is what the soul's been waiting for all along. Sweet mercy, I heard it clear as day at 39, basket heavy with Max from our local U-Pick in the Finger Lakes, after a summer that uprooted everything. Diagnosis of burnout scribbled on a doctor's note during a rushed checkup between yoga flows and Zoom therapy sessions. Those New York fall festivals, with hay rides and cider presses groaning under communal joy, masked my inner orchard's barren patches. Friendships faded like overripe fruit after moves for his job. Motherhood's bloom overshadowed by the wilt of my own deferred MFA dreams, whispered about at writers' workshops in dusty barns. We'd gather there, notebooks in laps, under lantern light, women pouring out verses of loss and longing over mulled wine. But that day, alone among the branches, an apple tumbling into my hand like a gift, I paused. Inhale the crisp tang of windfall, exhale the rot of resentments clung from boardroom dismissals where my ideas hung unpicked. It was the light echoing then, bouncing off dew-kissed leaves, illuminating the shade I'd cast over myself. Forgiving the college sweetheart who plucked my confidence like low-hanging fruit. The inner critic that pruned my ambitions too severely at career fairs under stadium spotlights. Sister, picture yourself now, maybe foraging berries in a Seattle community garden plot, rain-kissed vines heavy with promise, or shading under live oaks at a Georgia tailgate, grill smoke curling like memories. Let that echo resonate in you. Feel it vibrate through your core, dislodging the overgrowth of someday vines from health scares navigated at wellness retreats in the Berkshires, or the quiet betrayal of a confidant at bridal expo brunches. I echoed back during a solo orchard retreat, basket abandoned for a blanket spread under the canopy, breath sinking with the breeze, rustling secrets from the boughs, dreams ripening, curating a poetry reading series at the local library. Voices of midlife muses, from Latina poets and Bronx open mics to indigenous storytellers at powwows, filling the air like falling leaves. What echoes in your shade? The call to mentor apprentices at craft fairs in Asheville, hands guiding looms as you once wished for in your own unraveling, or scripting a one-woman show about your trailblazing aunt's suffrage marches, performed at community theaters under footlights. Tune to it now, soft as sunlight dappling through branches, and watch shadows yield to glow, purpose harvesting in quiet abundance. Forgiveness fruited there for me, sweet as the first bite, absolving the years I let shade define me, embracing the light that always waited, patient as orchard roots. Twilight gilds the trees, sense your echo amplify, a chorus of inner light harmonizing with the world's peaceful as harvest's hush. We're the orchards, darling, bearing light season after season. Across this apple-scented America, from Michigan's U-Picks to Washington's rainy groves, our echoes blend in symphony. So, step into your shade today. Let the light call home. An echo stirring your harvest? Drop it in the comments. May it sweeten ours. Subscribe to the Heart's Whisper. Like this glow. Stay in the loop. Our lights entwine like vines. In every fall, revelation ripens, murmuring, "You're the fruit, beautiful. Savor your shine." Whispers on the windswept bluff picture, standing on a windswept bluff overlooking the Atlantic. Salt spray kissing your face, the roar of waves below like the soul's unfiltered song. And in that vastness, a whisper rises, light from within, brushing against the gale, steadying you like an old anchor in stormy seas. The trail's edge crumbles soft under your hiking boots in that main coastal path, and you're 55, wind whipping your scarf from a Bangor yarn shop, questioning if this freedom is the healing you've circled for decades. Goodness, I stood there at 42, bluff high above the Jersey shore after a boardwalk breakup that scattered my plans like seashells after a nor'easter. The arcade lights of Atlantic City twinkling distant like false promises. Those eastern seaboard summers, with clam bakes on dune grass blankets and lighthouse tours echoing tales of shipwrecks and survivals, held my fragments. Divorce papers signed amid funnel cake scents at the fair, single parenting through little league cheers that masked my midnight doubts. Women like us, gathering at beach yoga sunrise salutes, downward dogs facing the horizon, shared nods of knowing, the wind carrying our unspoken winds of change. That day, scarf fluttering like a flag of truce, I spread my arms, inhale the brine-sharp gusts from offshore squalls, exhale the gales of guilt from career choices that veered like riptides, pulling me from journalism dreams to admin desks under fluorescent hums. The whisper came then, light threading through the howl, echoing forgiveness for the lover who sailed away, for the me who chased stability over spark at alumni mixers and Ivy halls. Darling, if you're perched on a bluff in your California redwood overlook, fog rolling in like a veil lifted, or a Midwest prairie rise where buffalo grass bends eternal, hear that whisper now. Let it weave through your being, untangling the knots from empty nest silences at family cabin reunions, or the sting of overlooked promotions at women's networking luncheons in glass-ceiling towers. I whispered back on a bluff retreat with a circle of survivors, wildflowers nodding in the gale, our voices rising in affirmations over thermos tea, dreams unfurling, captaining whale-watching tours off Cape Cod, narrating cetacean graces to tourists hungry for wonder, my first voyage chartered post-healing, waves mirroring the light I'd reclaimed. What's whispering on your wind? The urge to advocate at town halls for green spaces, inspired by your Sierra Club hikes, or composing sea shanties for folk festivals in Newport, strings plucking heartstrings long dormant? Attune to it, breath bold against the breeze, and feel the light anchor, purpose blooming defiant as dune grass. Forgiveness flew free then, on those winds, absolving familial squalls over estate dinners, embracing the gales that shaped my sails. As the sun dips, painting the sea gold, your whisper strengthens, a beacon in the blow, serene as lighthouse pulse. Where the bluffs love, enduring, etched by wind into wisdom. From Pacific gales to Gulf zephyrs, our whispers carry across the map. So face your winds today. Let light steady you. A whisper on your bluff? Voice it below. Windswept words unite us. Like, subscribe to the heart's whisper. Join the gale. Our lights hold fast. In every gust, truth breathes. Sighing, you're the anchor, fierce one. Stand tall. Threads of radiance in twilight's loom. Ever sat at twilight on your front porch swing, the creak of chains like a metronome to the day's unwind, and sense threads of light weaving through the dusk, radiance from your core lacing the fading sky, mending the day's loose ends with invisible grace? Fireflies wink in the gloaming of your Kentucky bluegrass yard, and you're 49, glass of sweet tea sweating on the armrest from a church picnic's leftovers, musing if this weave is the soul's quiet artistry. Bless my stars, I wove it first at 36, porch light buzzing soft over our bungalow in New Orleans Garden District, after Katrina's floodwaters receded, but left my spirit sodden. Home rebuilt with neighbors' hammers at block rebuild barbecues, yet the inner levees breached by loss of my gallery gig amid the chaos. Those southern dusks, with jazz drifting from corner stoops and second-line parades pulsing resilience, cradled my threads. Widowhood's veil thin as magnolia petals at jazz funerals, parenting solo through Mardi Gras masks that hid my hollows. We'd sway on those porches, women fanning with palmetto leaves, trading beads of wisdom over gumbo pots. But that evening, swing rocking gentle, I let my fingers trace the rail's grain. Inhale the jasmine, climbing the trellis from Creole garden tours. Exhale the tangles of trauma knotted from evacuations and insurance battles in fluorescent claim offices. The radiance threaded in then, luminous strands from within glowing against the gloam, forgiving the storm that took more than walls, the self that splintered under survival's weight at relief center lines. Honey, envision your twilight now, perhaps rocking on an Adirondack in Wisconsin's Northwoods, loons calling across the lake, or a stoop in Brooklyn's brownstones, city hum fading to cricket chorus. Feel those threads draw near. Let them lace your heart, unspooling. The snarls from caregiving burdens at hospice vigils, or the fate of friendship's post-retirement potlucks. I threaded deeper during a twilight weaver's guild, looms clacking like heartbeats in a Vicksburg cabin, our yarns of grief spun into tapestries, dreams emerging. Curating fiber art exhibits at folk life festivals in the Ozarks, hands guiding shuttles for survivors' stories. My first hanging unveiled under lantern glow, threads of light binding us. What threads your radiance? The pull to knit prayer shawls for shelters, patterns echoing your Scottish great-grandma's Highland reels at Celtic fests, or directing a twilight theater troupe in Austin, scripts illuminating immigrant arcs under live oak stages. Weave into it, breath steady as the swings sway, and behold the loom light your path, purpose patterning in profound beauty. Forgiveness fringe the edges then, soft as fringe, absolving relational rips from holiday feuds over king cakes, embracing the dusk that birthed my dawn. As stars prick the velvet sky, your threads shimmer, a radiant web serene as firefly Morse. Were the looms, sweet one, crafting light from shadow. Spanning this twilight-tinged land, from southwest sunsets to Alaskan auroras, our weaves interconnect. So, settle into your dusk, let radiance mend, a thread calling you. Weave it in comments, patterns shared strengthen all. Subscribe to the heart's whisper like the loom's hum. Stay woven, our lights interlace. In every twilight creation glows, humming, you're the weave, radiant soul, bind bright. Horizons of light? In dawn's embrace, think of dawn, breaking over your morning walk. The horizon a canvas of blush and gold where earth meets sky, and in that tender merge, horizons of light unfold from your depths, embracing you like the first warm ray after a long vigil, promising wholeness in the waking world. Dew clings to the path in your Florida coastal trail, and your 62, thermos steaming with chicory from a NOLA market run, reflecting if this embrace is the soul's homecoming after lifetimes of longing. Gracious, I embraced it at 45, horizon aglow over the Sangre de Cristo Mountains from our Taos adobe, post-cancer remission that stripped me bare as a winter mesquite. Treatments endured amid support group circles in Santa Fe spas, herbal teas steaming with stories of survival. Those southwest dawns, with hot air balloon festivals dotting the sky like prayers ascending, and adobe ovens baking piñon breads for communal feasts, held my horizons. Partnership dissolved in the haze of hospital waits, eldering through grandkids' baptisms that mirrored my own rebirthing. We'd walk those trails, women linking elbows at solstice gatherings, sage smoke curling blessings. But that morning, Alone with the rising sun, I opened wide. Inhale the pinon pine's resin from ancient forests. Exhale the horizons of hurt, hemmed by chemo fog and family fractures at reunion campfires. The light embrace then, horizons expanding from within, forgiving the illness that horizoned my vitality, the choices that clipped my wings at women's leadership summits in Denver ballrooms. Love, gaze to your dawn now, maybe tracing a desert horizon in Nevada's basin, sagebrush silver in first light, or an urban skyline from a Philly rooftop garden. Skyline silhouette softening. Let that embrace enfold you. Feel it hold your frame, dissolving barriers from legacy burdens at estate readings, or the dimming of passion's post-menopause milestones marked at spa retreats. I embraced Fuller on a horizon pilgrimage, balloons lifting at the fest, baskets swaying with a pot of healers, dreams dawning, founding a wellness co-op in the Rockies, circles of light for midlife mavens, from Navajo weavers to urban yoginis. Our first dawn session bathed in balloon glow, horizons uniting. What horizon's your light? The vision to chronicle oral histories at storytelling slams in Harlem, voices horizoning ancestors' migrations, or leading dawn patrols on Pacific Crest trails, boots breaking trail for heart-led hikes? Open to it, breath vast as the vista, and witness light's embrace chart your course, purpose painting in panoramic peace. Forgiveness flooded the frame then, warm as sunrise, absolving relational eclipses from eclipse parties gone awry, embracing the dark that deepened my dawn. As light crests full, your horizons bloom, an eternal embrace tranquil as oceans curve. We're the horizons, dear heart, merging light eternal. From heartland flats to Hawaiian rims, our dawns converge. So greet your light today. Let it hold you whole. A horizon unfolding? Horizon it here in comments. Embraces shared expand us. Like subscribe to the heart's whisper. Dawn with us, our lights merge. In every rise, belonging beams, cooing, you're the horizon, eternal one. Embrace ever.